Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with Rosie Eccles. I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
One of two GB reps, although you're not actually repping GB, you're obviously repping Wales, at the World Championships in Russia, 69 kilos. Just tell us how excited you are ahead of that.
Yeah, I'm obviously massively looking forward now to the Worlds. It's the next step, just come back from the Europeans, now World Championships, and hopefully bring back a medal, hopefully a gold one, and secure that place at the first Olympic qualifier. So World Championships is huge anyway, but I think with the Olympics looming and the qualifiers looming, I think it's even bigger than ever, really.
You medalled at Europeans, of course. You got a bronze, close one in the semi-final against the home girl as well, I believe. Was it the? Oh no, sorry, it was the. Yeah.
Without saying too much sort of on here, we all know boxing, and it's very frustrating not to have my hand raised in that semi-final, but at the end of the day I put in 3 good performances, and that's kind of the way you got to look at it. You can't control everything in boxing, sadly, so you can just control what we do as fighters. And I felt I could put 3 good performances in, but I think there's still 25% more in me, and hopefully I bring that now in the World Championships.
Now, on the way to that semi-final, of course, you beat Sandy Ryan, who's your colleague, teammate, and Olympic rival. Yeah, teammates and rivals at the same time. She'll be going to the Worlds for England, of course. How do you kind of balance that kind of friendship and the need to bring each other on in the gym with the fact you're both going to be competing for the same Olympic place next year?
Yeah, so a lot of people, will ask me about this, but at the end of the day, me and Sandy, we both want what each other want. Is what I say to everyone, and naturally that brings a certain edge to things. We're never going to be best mates. But for me, I actually like having someone there who's that competition. I think it keeps you humble, stops you from being complacent, and is that extra push, every day to be better. At the end of the day, it's about me and how I box, and I felt like I proved in the European Championships that under massive pressure, it wasn't actually even about the box. It's about controlling your head and performing under that pressure. When the Olympics is 8 months away, can you produce it against someone? It really brings more pressure than any other opponent because of that place at the qualifying spot, and I feel like I did that. But you've got to stay humble really and not get ahead of yourselves, because if I keep thinking I've made it now, then there's absolutely no way I'm going to go and produce what I need to at the Worlds. And it's about chipping away and going and getting that next medal and that next step, and hopefully no more brown medals either.
It was her birthday yesterday, of course. Oh, you don't know? I was going to say, did you get her a card or a present? But clearly not.
I buy a T-shirt. I'm a Sandy Ryan T-shirt now. Don't put No. We know at the end of the day we have our own friends here, and it's boxing, and we're never going to be best mates. We're civil, but we're never.
But you hate each other, yeah. We get it. It's all right. I'm joking.
Strong, but we just want what each other want, and we're very different people as well. I think anyway, we're very different characters, but we want the same thing, and I think let the best person get it at the end of the day, and I think that's fair. I wish her to perform well, and I wish me to perform well, and hopefully my performance is the best at the end.
Tell us how you first got into boxing back home.
Yeah, so 16 I walked into a box size class, and after being injured as a kid and hadn't done sport for 3 years, and the guy there sort of spotted something in me, a guy called Paul, and I was 15 when I walked in the class, and he said, look, when you're 16 I'll let you come down to the gym in Newport and train with me, and I'll train you. And I said, oh right. So when I was 16 I saved up, I bought a moped and I'd sneak out my house in the early hours of the morning and go and train with him. I'd roll out of bed at 3:30 in the morning, ride there and train before school, come back, and then sneak back in the house, back in the back door, and that's how it all started really, before I started my first club in Chepstow.
So your parents didn't know, presumably, because they wanted you to focus on your schoolwork?
I don't know. There wasn't necessarily, at the start, there wasn't support for boxing. I was in a very different situation, back at 15, and my life was very different. So, I sort of kept things under wraps, really. But then, that was, I've got massive gratitude to this guy, because he started everything. He changed my life. My life was going one way, and he pushed it straight in another. And then I started my first club in Chepstow, and it got, and it all went from there.
Just tell us a little bit about that. What was kind of going wrong in your life before you found boxing?
Yeah, I'm not one to talk about it too much, but a lot of things had happened from being a young kid, and I was at a place where I think I was quite lost, and I think I could have easily gone the wrong way. And that sounds so typical, but I don't like to say too much about it, because I think we all make what we make of our lives. But no, things were really tricky at that age, and I didn't feel, despite having some really good family around, I didn't feel like I had that support of in any part of sort of my life from key people, and he's the first person I really confided in about everything, and he sort of gave me this massive opportunity to sort of change things and change it through boxing. And because of him, I went and got further in education. I went and got certain jobs in work, and and I built really strong relationships with my family, and now they're a massive part of boxing.
And what's his name?
The person who got me into boxing was Paul Maloney, and then from him I went on to Chepstow, and Doug Lewis was a massive support, and then started working with Colin Jones in Wales, and then my club now in Pontypool with Mark James. So I've had so many, I'm so fortunate, I have so many key people that have really brought me through life, and boxing's become my life, and everything now has stemmed from boxing and these people, so I'm massively grateful to all of them, really. How
do you balance your training up here with GB at the EIS with training back home?
With a lot of juggling. No, so when I'm here, I probably, I'm here 4 days a week, and I get most of my sparring up here, and then when I go home I often will train mixture, so I train in my gym in Pontypool, but I'll also train with Wales in the Welsh squad with Colin Jones, and then also I still see my very first coach probably once a week, and I do a little bit of bags to him, and we keep our hand in, and he's a massive support to me. So him, Colin, and my coaches at Pontypool, they all
Do you still ride your moped there? Or?
No, I have a car now. I have a car now, but we all laugh because I've had some stupid jobs as well where I've been cycling, been cycle carrier and all that stuff. So it was like moped, bike, and everyone always laughs and winds me up. But we have a car now. We're sorted. We can just about drive to Sheffield and back, and yeah.
Tell us some of the jobs you've had. You've kind of left yourself open for that one.
God. So I worked for Deliveroo for a year, cycle carrier. I worked for a call centre. I was swimming teacher, lifeguard, clean schools. I've done them all. So obviously before you come on to GB, so Olympic weight only came in last year, so that's why I moved up from 64. So before then I was in uni full time. I trained full time with Wales, and I also worked 20 something hours a week because you can only get lottery funded. So I'm very, very fortunate now to be lottery funded, but it meant some crazy hours of work. But I think it makes you as a person as well. I think if you just handed something straight away, I think you become complacent, whereas now I feel massively lucky. I don't have to work anymore. This is my job, and it doesn't get much better than that, really.
Is it right you recently completed your Masters?
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, it nearly killed me, nearly finished me off in the end. But so I was studying full time at Cardiff Met. I had massive support again around there, but in the end it was dragging me down with boxing. I was travelling, I think I went 3 long haul flights alone last year, and I think 3 majors last year, and I've had another 3 in 4 months. So trying to balance a full-time master's degree was tricky, but again, pulled through, and we managed to do it, and with the support of some other people, and now that's in the background for when boxing's done, if I want to come back to that side of things, and I saw it through. But now it's all about the boxing, which I think was what made a massive difference for this European Championships. I think, I remember driving to Germany for a tournament before, and I'll say it now, but I remember feeling dizzy driving because I've been up God knows what times, writing the night before, and it's the first time that I'd really gone into a tournament where I felt, God, I actually feel good. Like I don't feel so drained, and I had to see that out. But now it's exciting because everything I work on now is for the boxing.
Was it sports psychology or?
Yeah. So sadly, I couldn't sports psych myself. I was
going to say, did it give you any insight into your own kind of mental preparations for tournaments and stuff?
I've learnt a lot. I've always worked with someone sort of back home, which is kind of why I got into it, because I realised sort of the power of working with someone like that and having that support. And getting into the right frame of mind. I think I went to the European Games earlier this year, and I was a massive learning curve because I didn't medal, and a lot of people thought I performed well, but I really didn't, and it was all because I put so much pressure on going into it, and I think that's what experience, you can't buy experience in boxing, and that was kind of what I changed going into the European Championships. I changed how I was sparring, changed my mindset going into a major, and I kind of felt the benefits for it this time. Everything felt so much more clinical because I'd kind of made it that way, and hopefully then we get it more right for the World Championships. But yeah, obviously my degree's massively helped me, but it's more helped me from the people that I've met within there that have also helped me.
Brilliant. And before we let you go, there'll be people that want to know a bit more about you. How can they find you on various forms of social media?
I'm absolutely useless, but yeah, so they can find me Rosie Eccles, so Rosie Eccles, I think 1996 on Instagram I mostly use. I'm also on Twitter, but I do post, but I I'm quite selective, you know. When I'm fighting, I switch off and I always post afterwards, and I keep little updates for people that are kind enough to follow me. And but yeah, Rosie Eccles, 1996, I think. But
you have to be patient, basically.
Be patient, you know. Good things come in small amounts, but hopefully. But yeah, so yeah, thank you. Yeah, that'll be me.
Brilliant. All right. Well, we really appreciate it, and we'll look forward to watching you out in Russia.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks.